Nico, get on that jet plane and leave. You know what?
Okay, so here's the way I understand it. Tell me if I got this right. So he has an NIL deal with the school, right? NIL, but school's really paying you. And he's going to get paid upwards of $2 million for this year. And he says, no, maybe it's him, maybe it's family, whatever, but he's a grown man now. He can say, if family's getting involved, he can say, no, I'm good. Comes in, says, I want $4 million. And when they say, we can't do that, or says that we're going to have to talk about whatever, he doesn't go to practice. Right. Okay, you're not going to do it, I'm not going to show up. And so Josh Heupel, who now has become one of my favorite coaches, I admired his cojones on this, says, all right, then, we're going to move on.
See ya. You're not going to hold us hostage.
Right. And did you hear what Mario Cristobal said?
He said, we will not cave into anybody.
He said, if you're going to hold out, you might as well get out.
Yep.
So I love that. I've always thought that players should have the ability to make money off their name, image, and likeness. But when you start pulling this kind of crap, especially when you're not that good, this ain't Vince Young.
Right.
Right? This ain't even Hendon Hooker. He's not that good. He passed for fewer than 200 yards in 8 of their games last year. If you take away 3 games against Vanderbilt, UTEP, and Chattanooga, he threw 11 touchdown passes and had 3 interceptions in all the games except those 3. Yep. He ran out of bounds on 4th down on the last play of the game. I mean, he probably wouldn't have, they're at like against Arkansas, they lost. They're like at the Arkansas 20, 25. He's under pressure. Just throw the ball up and hope for the best. Nobody can blame you. No, he just ran out of bounds.
Yep.
He's not that good. Can he get better? Yeah, he can get better. But you're not in a position to be saying, hey, you don't pay me this. You should be worshiping all the hallowed ground of Neyland Stadium, that they'll pay you that to play there.
Couple things, and I don't like that this is where we are in sports, but to me, production equals tolerance. Okay? Mm-hmm. So it'd be one thing if Bryce Young a couple years ago did that, and I would hate it, by the way, right? Mm-hmm. But Bryce Young was, one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football, bar none. He wasn't the 8th or 9th best quarterback in the SEC. I still don't agree with it. Where's the leadership in young men's life, right? Where's the dad in this? Well, I saw what the dad tweeted at the reporter, the On3 reporter, Pete Nakos, right? If my children at 16 years old, my boys, what they decide, they decide. I can highly encourage, I can push, but if they want to go to a different soccer club or they want to go to this college or they want to do that, they're at a point in their life that it's their life, they decide. I will highly encourage one way or another.
I get it.
But as a father, my sons are not that blessed to be Nico, D1 SEC quarterback, right?
Maybe closer than you think.
But that would never happen on my watch.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
Ever, ever, ever. If you can't handle things with class, right, there's a time for, according to Josh Pate, I was listening to his podcast last night. Apparently he tried this during the playoffs. You try this during the playoffs, out, go. Yeah. And where's the...
Oh, and by the way, did you see what he did in that playoff game?
Not very good. He got destroyed.
He completed less than 50% of his passes.
Where is the leadership in college football? And I'm looking at you, Sankey, and I'm looking at everybody. Somebody needs to step up and be a leader and not wait for Congress, which, by the way, they are getting involved.
Which never should have been.
Booker and Cruz apparently are working on some things behind the scenes. Great. Help. I want everybody to help. Sure. Somebody needs to grow up, be a leader, and put some framework. I don't understand the waiting. I don't get it. Stop waiting. Do. These commissioners, these presidents need to get together and say, this is not good for the lifeblood of our sport. We're going to be the NBA, and we're going to be irrelevant if this continues.
Yeah, it really is sad, the whole situation that it got here because of the NCAA. The NCAA did cause this. But what made college football, I think, so special, college sports, is unlike the NFL, I always say the NFL, the team chooses you. Mm-hmm. In college sports, you always chose the team. So there was this connection with the players because, hey, we are, all Aggies. We're all Longhorns. We're all Tigers, because we all chose the But now, as we've seen, it's become just, mercenaries.
Yep.
And then you have a guy that feels so little loyalty to his program that 2 whatever million isn't enough for me. You don't give me this, I'm just going to walk out on you. And it's happened. Now, look,
it happens everywhere.
It happened at UNLV. Now, here's the difference. At UNLV, the story from the kid the quarterback had left, I can't remember his name because, I'm old and I forget things, but I do remember the story. He was saying that he was promised X amount of money and they just didn't deliver. Nico in Tennessee came to an agreement. They're paying him, and he just said no. And I'm sure Dad needs to line his pockets. Dad said, hey, this is my chance to make, to get some extra dough. But they had an agreement, and he says, no, I don't want that agreement. I'm gonna. And you know what you can do? Here's what you do. You go through spring football the way you're supposed to and be a leader for your team. And if you feel like you got to renegotiate, you've got 3 or 4 months. And then maybe you can say, you know what, this isn't happening. And then you move on.
Look, is the fix making them employees and holding them responsible and having collective bargaining? Okay. If we're going to, let's stop acting like NIL is really NIL and just call it what it is. They're employees of the university. It should be of some kind of entity beyond the university.
Shouldn't they start having to pay for all their food and stuff? I mean, if they're getting paid, you get a free education.
If this dude right here, Carter, came up to me and was like, dude, if you don't start paying me X amount, I'm not doing the social center today. I'd be like, bye. Get out the door. If I did that to Billy, hey, Billy, show's about to start. I'm leaving unless you give me a Rolls Royce to do the show. Bye. He'd cut me. Goodbye. Thank you, Josh Heupel.
And I can make a strong argument that Carter is better at what he does for us than Nico is what he does for. He's not the 8th best. That good.
You are at least the 8th best social center person we have this year. At least.
That is true.
We have 5.
He was 10th in the SEC in passing.
Yeah.
10th. He's not that good.
And even if he was, I'm sorry.
Look, if Johnny Manziel comes and says, "Look, guys, I know you're paying me $2 million, but I need 4. And look at all I've done, and look at how much you're selling. Because maybe then I have to take okay, we got to discuss this." Nico's not even in that neighborhood.
No, but it's also the timing of it too.
The timing of it. You're exactly right.
Because to me, it was a planned effort. Like, all right, we're going to go to almost the spring portal opens. We're going to put them, and they're not going to have a quarterback situation.
Because they don't. They got
right? And they're going to have to pay us. Have some these contracts need to be worth something.
What does that team mean what do the Tennessee Volunteers football team mean to Nico Iamaleava? I'm leaving. What does it mean?
Bye.
It means nothing.
And I wonder what his teammates really think.
Oh gosh.
I have a quote from one.
Okay.
Do you want me to pull it? So, senior tight end Miles Kitzelman says, "I've been on some talented teams that haven't done too well because they're a bunch of individuals. I'm not saying this just to say it, but man, this team is different. This team is a team. Like I said before, there's no one else I'd rather go to war with. And letting these guys know we're good with whoever we've got back there at quarterback. We've got some dogs in these 2 guys." And he's talking about Merkingler and McIntyre, their quarterbacks that they have. So, it seems like they're having whoever they have back there.
I think they get it.
Yep.
Because look, they saw Nico play every game, and I guarantee you, players will always have each other's back publicly.
Yep.
But they'll talk among themselves. Say, "Man, can you believe he did that?" Or "What? I was open," and whatever.
At the end of the day, OB, be a good teammate, be a good citizen, let your contract be worth something, right?
I remember when your word was all you needed.
Get rid of the transfer portal, and then a lot of these problems go away, by the way. The immediate transfer portal.
Well, again, the guy made a deal that's very lucrative. and then tried to use a situation to get more,
Yep.
more than he deserves.